Today we're going to show you how to install the Madjax G250 and 300 Deluxe Rear Seat Kit designed for the E-Z-GO TXT and the Freedom TXT. The only difference with the two kits is that the 250 is made of steel and the 300 is made of aluminum. Included in the kits is the footrest, the lean back brackets, the armrests, the main brackets, the hardware pack, also the cushions of your choice, the grab bar, bagwell bracket, and the main frame. To do this, we're going to use a 14mm socket, a 17mm socket, a 17mm wrench, a number 3 Phillips tip, a 3/8 drill bit, and cordless drills. Now let's get started. You'll notice rubber washers in your hardware packs in your G250 and G300 rear seat kits. These rubber washers are meant to go against any metal surface to help avoid powder coat chipping or powder coat damage caused by the flat metal washers. Before we begin installing our rear seat kit, we want to remove the factory top and retain all hardware. Now that we have our factory canopy removed, we're going to detach the rear struts and retain. We do not need to retain the hardware. Now we're ready to detach our front seat lean back. What we're going to do is remove and retain the 4 bolts located in the rear of the seat and retain the front seat as well. Now we're ready to remove our factory sweater basket. We're going to remove the 4 bolts that mounts the basket to the frame. We do not need to retain the hardware. Now we're ready to install our main brackets. You'll notice with the bracket, the ledge will face towards the rear of the cart, and the plate that goes on each side will go towards the outside of the cart. This is our driver's side bracket. We're going to use the 10x25mm hardware and attach it to the frame here and here. Make sure both bolts are in place before you tighten. We're going to repeat this process on the passenger side. Now that we have our main brackets attached, we're going to reinstall our factory struts using the 8x45mm hardware provided in pack 1. Once both bolts are in place, then we can tighten our hardware. Now that we have our rear factory struts attached to our main bracket, we're going to reinstall our factory front seat lean back using retained hardware. Our next step is to install our main frame to our main bracket. But before we do that, there's 2 steps we want to go through. The first is to attach our armrest to our main frame. You'll notice on the armrest there's a curve on one side. This curve goes towards the seat kit. The cup holder goes towards the rear of the cart. We're going to install these with the 8x30mm hardware and tighten. Now that we have our armrests attached to the main frame, before we install the main frame, our second step is to attach our bagwell bracket to our main frame using the 10 by 50 millimeter hardware provided. Now we're ready to attach our main frame using the 8 by 60 millimeter hardware. You're going to place the main frame on the ledge of the main brackets, feed the 60 millimeter bolt through the frame, into the bracket, and tighten. Now that we have our main frame attached, we're going to drill holes through our bagwell bracket and mount it to the bumper. We're going to use a 3/8 drill bit and our safety glasses and drill all the way through. Now that we have our holes drilled, we're going to use the 10 by 70 millimeter countersunk bolts and attach our bagwell bracket to our bumper. Now that we have our bagwell bracket attached to our bumper, we're going to install our footrest to the bagwell bracket. We're going to use the 10 by 75 millimeter bolts and the quick release pins to do this. First, we're going to take our 75 millimeter bolt and insert it into the top of the footrest. Now we're going to attach our quick release pins through the bottom of the footrest into the bottom of the bagwell bracket and tighten our hardware. Now that we have our footrest attached to our bagwell bracket, we're going to attach the grab bar to the footrest. We're going to use the same size hardware as well as 2 other quick pins, but this time the quick release pin will be on top and the bolt will be on the bottom. Now we're going to attach our lean back brackets to our main brackets. You'll notice on the lean back bracket that the holes are labeled per golf cart. So we're going to locate the TXT holes. You'll also notice the slots running up one side of the bracket. These are for the lean back cushion. So we're going to mount our lean back bracket through the TXT holes into the inside holes of the main bracket using the 8 by 30 millimeter hardware and tighten. Now that we have our lean back brackets attached, we can install our lean back cushions using the hardware from Pack 5. You'll notice on the lean back brackets the multiple mounting locations on the inside here. This is so you can mount your cushion to your desired height. Make sure that all 4 bolts are in place before you tighten. Now that we have our lean back cushion attached, we're going to install our seat bottom. You'll notice on the seat bottom that there's a dip. This dip goes towards the front of the cart. We're going to use the hardware from Pack 8 and put each bolt into place and then tighten. Now that we have our cushions attached, I'm going to show you how to put your footrest and grab bar into the tow mode. Using the quick release pins that you put in your footrest, remove them and retain This will allow you to pick up your footrest and then we'll lock it in. Now we're going to take the pin out of the bottom of the footrest and lower the small aluminum bracket down, and using one of our retained quick release pins, attach this to the bagwell bracket. Now you're finished installing your Madjax Genesis 250 and 300 Deluxe rear seat kit designed for the E-Z-GO TXT and Freedom TXT.